Hello guys, and welcome back to Amakada online training. This today I just thought of making something simple as well. Like I said, we're under this lockdown thing, and most times just want to have that free wear to wear. But this time around, I'm adding a belt to my free wear. So if you can see this picture well, I just had to do a quick sketch of what I want to do. I called it the sleeveless maxi dress with Obi Belt. This Obi Belt that we've all been, but I'm not doing it like a separate thing. I'm actually doing all together. So I'm going to be cutting the maxi dress, and I'm also going to cut the Obi Belt. So that's what this video, it's actually, I hope you can actually see this well. So I'm planning to use an Ankara fabric. Then I may likely, the color of the belt, I'm mixing it, like a mix and match thing, and then still use a plain color on the neck and on the, I'm still trying to decide on that, but that's just what, the sketch looks like. Okay, and then we'll be working with certain tools. It's not a pattern thing, but a bit of both, because I'm actually going to be marking on my fabric. So I have my pencil, as you see. It's just normal, you have your pencil around, my pins, I have my tailor's chalk, my scissors, I have my tape, my rulers. Those are my working tools, and then the fabric I'm going to be working with. So I have this, and then what I'm going to use to make the Obi belt. Okay, so I'll see you in the cutting class. Hello guys, so welcome back to our cutting session. I'm going to be cutting like 65 in length, and I'm going to be using, for this, it's a sleeveless, so I'm just going to be working with my shoulders, my shoulder measurement, my round bust measurement, my waist measurement, my hip measurement. They're not really necessary though, but maybe just as a guide for you to be able to know how much what your calculation is going to be like. Then you need your half length as well, you need your hip depth as well. I think that's basically what you need. So this is I'm really tall, so I'm using like 3 yards and a half, so that's basically what I have here. And you know that Ankara is by 45, so 45 won't be okay for me, so I'm using the length part of it, not the width part of it. So I'm going to put this on a 2-fold, which represents my front and my back. So when I do this, and at least I have the midpoint. So like I folded into 2. That's it, front and back. Then I'm going to fold it this way. I hope you guys can see that. So I'm folding it this way. So that's the way I'm going to keep it to cut. Okay guys, so I've been able to fold my fabric. This is the wrong side. Though this fabric like looks almost like like the front and the back, the right and wrong side. So this is the wrong side. I folded into 4. Like I said, I'm cutting my front and back together. So I'll just impute the measurement now. So normally, like I used to say, for me, I always come down half of an inch. I keep that as a guideline, because at the end of the day, I'll still use the half at the top, to add to my allowances. So having done that, I'll now impute my measurements coming this way. Actually, why I folded this way is like it has a bit of design, but at the same time I may likely reduce it, so you still have all that to play with. But for me it's just fine, because I need the design to really come out. So I'll impute my measurements now. So it's a sleeveless. Normally my armhole is about 9 inches, plus 1 for my slant is 10. And like I said, since it's sleeveless, when I'm done, I'm still going to reduce it a bit. So I'm marking at 10. My waist half length is at 18. My hip depth is at 27. So I'll repeat the same thing here, so I'll be able to get a straight line at the end of the day. So I'm going to turn this into straight lines. Okay, so I've extended all this into straight lines, as you can see. My chest point, my waist point, and my hip point. So I'm going to impute the measurements across. So my neck 3 basic and 8 inches plus half an inch sewing allowance. So I'll do the same thing down here. 8 inches. Sorry, you're going to be hearing a whole lot of noises around me, you know, because of course we're at home and everybody's doing everything. So apologies for that, but just concentrate and try and get what you can get. So what I did here was to do 3 inches, and then for my neckline, and my shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches plus half an inch allowance. I came down here on my chest line and imputed the same thing. I imputed my 8 inches and then I added half for sewing. So I'll extend this into a straight line. So I'll now come over to my chest points and mark my bust divided by 4. So in this case, my bust divided by 4 is 11 and a half. And because, like I said, it's a loose, you know, a loose maxi dress with an Obi belt. So I've added 1 inch for ease, and I'm also adding another 1 inch as sewing allowance. I'll come over to my waist. Actually, because it's a loose dress, I'm not going to really do anything at the waist. I'm just going to come over to my hips, and whatever I'm having here, or most other times what I do is just go to the end of the fabric, extend it, whatever I'm having at my hips divided by 4 plus 3 to 4 inches extra, and I'll extend it that way. So I just have this very long line going all the way down. But because I don't even have a ruler to take care of that at the moment, so at my hip, I'll put my hip divided by 4, which is meant to be 12 and a quarter. Then I'm going to add about 2 inches extra to it and still add my 1 inch sewing allowance. I added 2 inches extra. Like I said, it's a loose dress. You can make yours fitted. I just want mine loose because I'm going to have a belt to it. So I now have my hips divided by 4 plus 2 inches. You can add between 3 to 4 inches really. So I may likely even add 3 because I really want it loose. So I've added 3 inches. You know, you can still add your 1 in. That makes it plus 4. So you can do that. Between 2 to 4 inches, you can add that as your allowance. Now I'll measure what I have here, which is about 16 and a quarter. Then I'll take it down. But before taking it down, I'm going to try to measure my full length. Sorry, my tape is short, so I have to keep dragging the fabric up and down. So I'm trying to get my full length before I mark. So I'm using 65. Using 65 as my full length. Okay, so I'm taking 65 and a half. Like I said, I really want mine flowing on the floor, so that is plus my sewing allowance, and I'm going to mark the same thing here as well. So I'm still marking my 65 and a half, so that way I know where my full length is stopping. I would have actually used everything here, but you know, it's the fabric is not equal. So at this hemming point now, I'm going to mark my same 16 and a half. You can actually mark more. I like just having that extra ease, you know, when I'm walking. So that's why I'm marking that. So you're now going to extend your line all the way to that point. So I'm going to use 2 rulers. Like I said, I don't have a long ruler here, so I'm just trying to make this happen. Hope you're seeing my lines. So I've extended that. So if you want the down part to be more, you can still extend it. It's you have your dress to play with. So if I need it more than this, probably you really want it to like be flowing, you know, So if you want it very flowy, you can actually just extend it more. So everything is really up to you. Like if you want it more fitted, you do it more fitted. Whatever you want, it works that way. So that's it. Hope you can see that. So I've been able to extend. It's a very simple dress. I think it's just the Obi Belt that really gives it that beautiful look as well. So at this point, I'm also going to just join from my chest line to my hip point. I'm not like, you can actually also probably find what your waist is. Like mine is 10, and then you add your 2 inches and add your 1 inch sewing allowance. That's probably because you just want to give it a bit of fitting. It's still fine. So I can still do this, bring it here and take it here. It's still fine. But I'm using a belt, so it doesn't really matter to me. So for me, I'll just take it all the way. So that's it. So it's more like a flare kind of dress. So having done that, I'm now going to mark my sleeves. Like I said, it's a sleeveless anyway, so it's not my shoulder, my armhole. I didn't mark that. So I'm coming down 1 inch at this point and then draw it back to the neckline. So you come in 1 inch here and take your line from here, from your neckline to that point, and then measure what you have left here. This is 9, and divide it by 2. That I'm trying to mark the front armhole, and then you use your curve. You can actually work with your hand as well if you don't have a curve. Still works perfectly fine, but I do have a curve. So, and I'm going to mark the back here as well, then I'll cut it off later. So like I had said, that for me, I'll still bring down my armhole because I really want it wide. So I may just come down. You can come down like 1 inch more, you know, but of course I'm going to do half, because by the time I sew, it will still give me the 1 inch that I want. So it just gives me that opening there. So now we're done with this. We're now going to focus on the neckline. So the neckline depends on what you want. Please don't forget that you have to add your half an inch here, so that we don't forget that. So let me do that on time so we remember it. So that's it, because if you don't do that, then we're going to have a shortage. So now I want my neck to be wider than this. This was 3, and I'm going to be doing the wideness along this line. So this is 3 inches. I'm going to use 4. If I'm using 4, by the time I'm done sewing, it will come to 4.5. If I'm using 4.5, by the time I'm done sewing, it will come to 5. It is up to you, whatever you want to use. For the back, I'll be using 2 inches. For the front, I'll be using about 6 inches. You can use more than that, even 7 is still fine. Whatever, like I said, is all up to you. So I'll just make a little line here to help me out. So here, I'll use in between because by the time I sew, it's actually going to come down to that. So that's it, and then I'll curve it. So like I had said, you can do a freehand thing if you don't have a curve. The curve just makes it easy. That's why I made the line. So you curve it into the line. So for the front, you can keep it this way so that it gives you a very nicer curve, and curve it into the line. So this is my back, and this is my front. I just wanted it this low, and like I said, I'm even thinking I should make it lower. I'm just a fan of really free dresses. So to do that, I need a line. So guys, I'm also putting a pocket to it. So at this point, I'm going to come down from my pocket. I just marked this so we can have a notch. So guys, I'm done with this dress. Like I said, it's a sleeveless dress. So if you don't want your sleeve to be this wide, you can actually come in. For sleeveless dresses, you can actually come in 1 inch more. We do it. It's really okay. So in my case, just half an inch makes it 1 inch. because I already added my allowance there. So you can actually do that. And so if I come in 1 inch and just draw everything back, you know, from there. So I'd rather have, so you're going to be going from here all the way back, and then this comes from here. So where I'm doing the blue is where we're going to cut. So that's because you just want it to be a bit, you know, not totally down there. So that's basically it about that. So we're going to cut. So first I'm going to cut the back before I'll cut the front. So when I'm done cutting this, I'll cut the pocket, then I'll cut the Obi belt. My gown is really going to be pretty wide, but I'm going to be sewing at 1 inch anyway. So my sewing allowance is also in here. So you don't need to add any other thing. So please also don't forget where I'm putting the pockets. You actually have to mark a notch so that you know very well that that is where your pocket is going to be. Okay, so first, like I said, you cut out the back. Cutting out the back first, and then I'm cutting out the back here too first. So when you're done cutting out the back, you simply take out the one under, but please don't forget, like I said, you need to mark because this fabric really looks the same. So of course this I did something on, so I will know that. So I'll take out the back and then I will finish up my cutting for the front. Okay, so like my front armhole goes deeper than the back. So I'm done. That's my front, and this is my front as well. So guys, I'm done with that particular cutting. So I'll just quickly cut the pockets before we go into the obi. Okay guys, so I'm now going to quickly cut out the pockets for the dress and all that. So this is the pocket. What I normally do is I just place my hand here and try to draw this around it. That is it. So that's it. That's really what the pocket is like. So people have different ways of doing this, but this is my own way of doing it, and that's it. So I'm going to cut it out now and show you guys. So it's just a nice. All my allowances and everything is actually in there. So I'll cut this part off. And then what I normally do is just have a notch mark somewhere so that by the time I'm sewing, I can add this and know that this is where I'm actually placing it on my fabric. Like I said, please don't forget to mark because they actually look the same. So this is my pocket. So the next cutting we're going to do now is the Obi belt. Hello guys, so this is our Obi belt, and this is my center front, and this is my top line. So I'm going to be cutting this on fold. So there are a lot of ways of actually cutting this belt. So it's actually up to you, however you want to. If you want it to, you have 3 sections of this belt. You have the middle part, you have the strap, and you have another strap. So you have 1, 2, and 3. That's how this belt is. This middle part, you can take it, you take your waist measurement and then decide where you want this to stop. So some people, you know, it stops like 2 inches after the waistline both ways, and then the strap takes it all the way around. So really depends on how you want the middle part to be. I want mine to actually go all the way to the back because I just want that, you know, fitting and all that. So I'm going to be taking my waist measurement minus 2 inches.
then I'm going to add another 2 inches for same allowance. So I can say I'm actually using my whole waist measurement, but I'm taking my sewing allowance out of there. So that's the measurement. So from this middle point that you're seeing here, like I said, if you look at this close, this is my center front. So from here I'll take a measurement of half. Sorry, I really just have a small table to work with, you know. So I'll now add my sewing allowance. Then I'm going to mark here as well. That's the length now that I'm working with. Like I said, you can make it shorter. It doesn't really have to be just the way I'm doing this. Okay, so for the width of this belt, you can take a measurement and also know how long you want it to be on your waistline. So some people actually use about 3 inches, so you can do between 3 to 6 inches is actually very fine. I'm going to do 6 because really I want it wide. So if you don't want it wide, you can do 5. 5 is also perfectly fine. So maybe my 6 actually has my sewing allowance inside of it. So now that I've marked this, I'm going to turn it into a rectangle, so just like a box. So okay, and then that is it. So now at this point I'm going to actually shape it. So here I'm having 6 inches. I'm going to take a midpoint, which is 3, and then from the 3 I can now mark what I want. So, or you can say here you're coming down 1 inch, and from here you're also coming down 1 inch. That's also fine. So here, because you're going to slant this all the way up, you can curve it, you can slant it. So you can, so here, please don't forget I took out 1 inch. From here I came down 1 inch. From here I came up 1 inch as well. So at this point you can decide how you want to slant it in. So for me, I'm doing 4 inches. And here also I'm doing 4 inches. Like I said, this belt has a whole lot of ways of doing it. So if you know the basics, you can actually, you know, decide however you want it to be. So I'm just trying to get a good angle to this. So I hope you're seeing this perfectly well. So I'll slant that in, and I'll do the very same thing here. I did 42. Okay. So that's the same thing there. So that's just the shape that the back. If you want to take it all the way, like I said, it's still up to you. I can also slant this, you know, from here all the way in here. It's really however you want it to be. So I can do this now, taking it from 52 in, and I can do the same thing here. So any of it you can use it. So this is the middle part. So now when you're done with this, you now need a strap. So your strap, for a formula for your the length of your strap is going to be your waist measurement plus 5 inches, you know, plus another 5 inches for same allowance. So for me it's 50. So you can do plus 5 and you add between, you know, 2 to 5 again for your allowance, however you want it to be. So that's what I'm going to do. So the length is going to be 50 and then the width of it is going to be 4. But please make sure that one of it definitely has to be exactly the measurement of this. So this is the belt strap, and like I said, you know, it will be your waist measurement plus 5 inches plus another 5 inches, which is going to be, you're going to be cutting it times 2. So in my own case, I'm going to be using in my own case it's about 50. That's the length I'm working with. So I'm going to be using the whole of this, you know, for my length. And then my width is going to be 4 inches. So that's 4 inches. 4 inches. 4 inches. that's what I'm using there. So I hope you're seeing this anyway. Please just watch it over and over. This Obi Belt is actually just one very simple thing. It's very beautiful with leather fabrics, but this time around I'm doing a mix and match for it. So having done this, on one part of it, which is the part you're going to join to the middle part, you have to, you know, always make sure that it is the same. Right now mine is the same because it's the part that is joining to the middle part. And then at the end part of it, you can actually shape it just to, it's a rope, so you can actually just create, you know, create a design to it. Like I'm just creating something like this. So it's just a design, so you just create a design to it and that's it. So you're cutting this strap ×2, and then you're cutting the main belt 1, or you're cutting it on fold. So you have to make sure that this part is on fold. So I'm going to cut this paper out, place it on the fabric and show you. Okay guys, so this is the Obi belt that we had cut. We had done a pattern on a ladder, and I now want to cut it. So for the middle belt, I'm going to use a black fabric, and then for the straps, I'm going to be using the same Ankara fabric I did before. So I'm going to pin this and then still add my allowances round it, my sewing allowance. Actually, like I said earlier, you can make yours smaller. I choose mine to be big. That's why I'm having about 6 inches. Then I'm still adding my allowances to it. So I'm going to be adding my allowances right now, and then I'll show you. Okay, so guys, I've been able to add my allowances to it. I did 1/2 inch allowance all around it. Then I'm going to cut it out before I now cut the belt part of it. So I'll cut this out. Just trying to save my fabric here. So actually when you're cutting, you cut this ×2 so that you have what to turn. But I'm trying to save my fabric, so I will likely use the Ankara to cut it. To be cutting the, like I said, this you're going to cut ×2. So this now I'm going to cut the strap with this, but I'm also going to cut another piece for this, and then I'll show you. So I'll place the pattern here, then I'll show you. Okay guys, so I have pinned this, but I don't know if I have enough, so I may have to repin because I'm trying to use my leftover fabric to do this. I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough allowances as well, up to 1/2 inch to use. So it's looking like I don't have up to 1/2 inch, so I may have to use another fabric for it. So maybe let me check if I can use the main fabric. Okay guys, so I've pinned down the belt strap, and I'm going to add allowances to it now and show you. Okay guys, so as you've seen, I've been able to add my allowances all around, like 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut. Now I did a shape here. I'm not going to cut the shape yet. I'm going to cut it square. Then when I'm done, I'll pick one side of it to cut the shape. I'll explain to you when I'm doing that.
So I'll cut it. I've been able to cut off the belt strap now, so I've opened it up. One side is actually going to stay straight because that's the side I'm going to attach to the middle part, and then I'm going to shape one side of it because that's the down part of the belt. One belt is for a side. We're going to sew it and turn it. Okay guys, so now like I said, one side I'm not shaping, one side I'm giving it like a design. That's the down part of the belt, so that's what I'm doing now. I just want to shape it. So I'm done with that. So that's what we have. Like I said, it's 2 per one side because I'll sew it and I'll turn it. Now let me show you what it's meant to look like. I have cut this in 2 already. Okay, so this is the middle part. This I'll use to turn this, to neaten it. So I just want to show you now, this is what the whole middle part is going to be like. Then this side, this is going to come on it. That's why you have to have this thing. So we're wrapping this from the back all the way back to the front. So when I'm sewing it, you guys will see how it's going to turn out. But also, before I forget, to make it stand, you're going to have to add your stay to it. So actually have the stay here. You know, you can use any stay you have that you know will give it that strength. So I'm going to be cutting this middle part out just like this stay, and then I'm going to iron it down before I turn it. So that's basically what the cutting session is all about. Anyway, I think we're done for the cutting class. I'll be moving on to the sewing class. It's the Macadel online training. My name is Nita. Please subscribe to our channel, and for those that have already subscribed, we say a very big thank you. It's really been a big motivation, and I'll do this more and more as I can. So wherever you think we need to do better, please do let us know, and I'll be seeing you in our sewing class.